Hey folks, in this episode I'll be talking about the minis that I have for tabletop wargaming that I got from CreatureCaster. So if you've been following me for any amount of time recently, you know that I've gotten into wargaming, specifically with Warhammer, and I'm playing Chaos Demon Army, specifically sticking with the Demons of Tzeentch. Now, I love these models. I think that they're fantastic. I go at length to talk about them, and you can check out those videos. But as I was looking for the things that I wanted to use, I don't have a problem with proxies at all. I also talk about using proxies and WYSIWYG and all that stuff in some of these videos. And so I was looking for what I wanted to use for my Kairos Fate Weaver, or for my Lord of Change, or for my Demon Princes. And after looking around, doing some searches, and getting some recommendation from friends who I really trust and I love their minis, I was directed to the company CreatureCaster. CreatureCaster has some really cool stuff, but, well, pretty much only if you're gonna play with some Chaos Demons. There's not a lot there for your Space Marines, or your Tau, or for anything else. And of course you can use these for other stuff. They would make some pretty terrifying bad guys and whatnot to run up against in your Dungeons & Dragons or your Pathfinder campaign. But ultimately, I settled on getting two of these little fellas right here. Ultimately, getting the Lord of Metamorphosis and the Lady of Arcana. What I wanted to do is talk a little bit about these sculpts, about the different resin things that I got from them, a bit of a review. And let me start off by saying overall I am extremely happy. I think that the level of detail and the price point, these are absolutely go-tos when you're looking for something special, either for your RPG or your wargaming. One of the first things that you'll notice is that this isn't coming to you in a sprue like you're going to see from GW. And of course, comparing things to what you get from GW is going to be the default for this. I think that that's fair because, well, it's what everything else on your table is probably going to be. Now, you do have this resin cast, and one of the things that you're going to start to notice is this is going to take a lot more cleanup work than maybe what you're used to. Is this a drawback? Is this a negative? Is this a mark against CreatureCaster? I guess maybe. Yeah. It's not a huge deal, but this is the first sort of injection mold or casting or resin that I've gotten, and so it was a little bit new to me. There are these little spots that you can see where it's essentially very similar to where it would be connected to the sprue. You just don't have the sprue that it's connected to. So that's not going to be that much different. Take a pair of clippers and go in, and I had to clip these off. And then using like an emery board or a nail board, I go ahead and file these things down to a nice size. There were a couple of places on my Lady of Arcana where the peg was sitting right on the piece that fit into sort of the tab A slot B, and it was really difficult to clean out. And in even one place, the little recessed slot that it was supposed to go into had a lot of extra flashing in there. And it actually made it really difficult to get a nice, perfect seal. And it's a little annoying, but it's something to be aware of. As well as the idea of the flashing. There's going to be a ton of extra flashing for you to clean up that you might not be used to. My Lady of Arcana's staff had a lot of stuff that was really kind of gross on it, and I thought I had done a really good job, and it wasn't until I really was getting in there after priming and starting to paint that I realized, oh, I hadn't got it nearly as well. Here on the Lord of Metamorphosis, you can see there's a lot of extra flashing here that I'm going to need to go in and clean up. Also, you might find that your seams are going to show a lot more, and you're going to need to get in there with your green stuff. And because the seams are so pronounced, probably layer after layer of green stuff. I probably didn't do nearly as much as I should. Now, I know it sounds like I'm kind of really harping on it and saying a bunch of bad stuff about CreatureCaster. Look, all I'm trying to let you know is what to expect that's going to be very different than what you've encountered if all you've ever bought before are minis from Reaper or from Games Workshop. I'm not saying that Creature Caster is bad by any means, and in point of fact, this extra flashing, these little pegs, needing to do some more cleanup work is pretty standard fare for a lot of these resin casts. It's something to get used to if this is a direction that you're going to go. It's not the best thing in the world, but I'm not harping on this one company more than any other company, what you could probably expect. It takes a little bit of extra time and care and love, but ultimately it is something that's easy to work around, easy to clean up, and well worth it when you consider the price and the level of detail. Metamorphosis and Arcana both were $60 American for me, and for that I got free shipping as well. It shipped to me from Canada, and it got here really quickly. I ordered them on a Friday. I wasn't supposed to get them until that next Thursday. I ended up getting them the next Tuesday, so it really came pretty quickly. I was able to get 2 pieces that I will use and proxy, and those 2 pieces together were less than what I could have bought just Fate Weaver for at my local game shop. Now, that gets into where do you choose to support. We've talked about that in other videos. I support the heck out of my local game shops, but I don't think there's anything wrong with going online and finding what you like, especially considering Creature Caster isn't in my local shop. So, that's just the direction that I went. I really love the detail and the look, especially the organic look that you're getting with Metamorphosis. You can see all of his wings and the tentacles here are really cool looking. Also, you get some neat options. Here are the 2 different head options for Metamorphosis, and they're really neat. I love this creepy look that you see here where he doesn't have eyes where they should be. They're growing up the sides of his horns. And then I love this one here, which is sort of a little bit what you expect to see from the movie Legend or from Diablo. It's a really neat look. He's got these flames that are definitely going to be something that's going to challenge me. My flames have been getting better, but with a huge piece like this, I'm really going to have to get... really going to need to up my game as far as my layering technique for the flames, as well as, I think, challenge myself to a little bit of object source lighting as these curl up behind him. There's extra bits that you're going to find and have. This sort of Kopesh looking sword is really awesome. I have an extra from Lady Arcana, and so I will absolutely be turning that into an objective token. Kind of a cool little find and hold this. And my Lord of Metamorphosis here, this is what I will be using as my Demon Prince of Tzeentch. Once it's all said and done, this is what I ended up with. Now, I definitely did this in pieces. This pink wraparound bit here on Lady Arcana, I did all of that in pieces before I put any of it together. It was completely painted, and then I put it on because getting in there and doing the painting would have just been absolutely impossible for me. I put her main torso on the base, so this being the base, the torso here, and painted that. I did put the 2 pieces of the arms together to paint. I did the wings separately, and then all of the 4 individual sections for the tentacle. Once they were all painted, I put them together, and then I went back through and did some of my highlights. This was my first time working in sections, and so that was pretty good. I do need to do some more work on the stone base. This is an indication of my skill level, but also to look, this is what I'm talking about here. You can see the seams, and you can see some flashing that I didn't quite get cleaned up here in the staff. Yeah, around the feathers, you can see some of this flashing that I really didn't get cleaned up. And sure, I absolutely will own the fact that that's something that I can get better at cleaning up. I just want you to be aware that if you go with Creature Caster, you'll need to be paying attention to that kind of stuff. I absolutely love this piece. I love the sculpt. I love the attention to detail here. And I think that she absolutely, on my table in front of all of my flamers and screamers and horrors, is a fantastic general, a fantastic HQ, either for 40k or with Sigmar. A perfect little Kairos Fate Weaver. I really like Creature Caster's stuff. I'm not too sure if there's other pieces on there that I'll be going back to pick up, just because I don't know that there's anything else I need for my army. And while I do have 2 fairly big pieces that I'm proxying, I love a lot of the GW stuff, and so that's what I'll be using. But Creature Caster, definitely. And who knows, if I start to incorporate Nurgle or Khorne or something like that, there's some other really good pieces in there. Let me know what you think of Creature Caster or any other company so I can go and check them out. Thanks for swinging by. I hope you've been enjoying my adventure as someone who's completely new to Warhammer. If you've gotten into it recently, or if you've gotten into it because of these videos, then that's really awesome. I'd love to hear from you. A big thank you for coming by. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I want to point out just a couple of our patrons. That's Joan and Arvy and Sean, Lainey and Bryce. They're just a few of the people that help to support what we do, allow us to have more videos and better videos and more things to talk about. And if you would like to join them, if you'd like to be someone who gets your name said during our videos, as well as some other really cool perks, then check out patreon.com/rollforinitiative. Find a level of support that's great for you, and that would be really cool. So until next time, I'm Ryan, this is Roll for Initiative, and thanks.